Good evening everyone, welcome to SUTV Live, your match day home for all of the build-up to each and every match day this season. Tonight, Sheffield United host Preston North End just 3 days after hitting Peterborough for 6, and now the Blades are aiming for back-to-back wins to get their promotion charge fully underway. All of the build-up is free and the whole game is exclusively live with us right here. This is your match day home. This is SUTV Live. Hello, welcome to our studio here at Bramall Lane. We are building up to Sheffield United against Preston North End. The countdown to kick-off starts right here and it is free to view for all Blades fans on this platform. But remember, if you want to watch exclusive match coverage of the game, you do need to buy a match pass via the club's official website, sufc.co.uk. Here's what's coming up between now and kick-off. The team news is now in. I'll be joined by my two studio guests to discuss that and preview tonight's game. We'll hear from Blades boss Slaviša Jokanovic and one of the stars of Saturday's win over Peterborough, Morgan Gibbs-White. And we'll have exclusive interviews with Robin Olsen, John Fleck and United's latest signing, Adlène Guedioura. Welcome along, good to have you with us again, and it's so nice to be feeling positive ahead of another fixture under the lights here at Bramall Lane. I'm joined in the studio tonight by Kevin Gage, who of course will be with us throughout the whole of the season and no doubt still on cloud 9 after Saturday's result. And Kevin is joined by none other than former Blades captain Chris Morgan. Evening chaps.
Evening Paul.
Good to see you both. Let's crack straight on with the team news. Two changes from the weekend. There's a debut for Robin Olsen in goal tonight. Luke Freeman comes in, Fotheringham out and Osborne out. Kevin, let's start with you. Your reaction to that team news?
Well, it was always going to be the same or very similar team. I think we expected Olsen to come straight in, obviously. He's an absolute top quality goalkeeper and it was just a question of getting the things done behind the scenes before he made his debut. And the Luke Freeman one is obviously like for like. Osborne's not very well, so it just gives us another bit of balance on that left-hand side. And I don't think we'll miss out anything there. I think Luke Freeman will only add to the starting 11.
Chris, there were so many star performers at the weekend, but there's two players in particular I'm really keen to look at tonight, having not been here at the weekend: Morgan Gibbs-White and Iliman Ndiaye. Superb, weren't they, at the weekend? Yeah,
both fantastic, and you know, you talk about making an impact on your debut, and 3 goals between the pair of them. You know, you look at it, and neither of them could do much more really. So, like you said, more of the same tonight. But I just think they gave the team the energy. You know, there's some good players in there, but the energy and the legs that were needed after the international break.
Kev, talk to me about Ndiaye, because he was relatively unknown to the general public. Yes, he's been performing well for the under-23s, signed a new contract last week, then thrown straight in as he was for his full debut. What were your impressions of him?
It's the first time I'd seen him for any length of time. We'd seen little cameos of him and I'd seen a few under-23 YouTube clips of him. But the consensus around the club was this is a superstar in the making. He's been training with the first team since the start of the season and part of last season as well. So everybody at the club knew how good he was. And it was a question of putting him in at the right time and just unleashing him on the general public. And my word, did he take his opportunity. I mean, it was a fabulous debut, full debut. Absolutely superb. And as Chris said, it gave us a bit of energy, but also it gave us a little spark of creativity and flair that we've probably been missing, and certainly I've been banging on about all season. So yeah, fantastic debut, and hopefully more to come.
And do you feel that affected the rest of the team? You know, other players in this side who might have been at the not been at the levels that they had been previously. Do you feel that gave them a bit of a lift as well? Could you see that?
I think new players coming into the squad and new signings always gives everybody a lift. It certainly made a couple of players look over their shoulder and think, I'm going to have to start producing now. I'm going to have to pull my socks up. So yeah, it can only help, can't it? It really, really can. And Gibbs-White was another one. You know, Chris knows more about him than me, maybe, but we'll talk about him later as well. He was equally as good. Really, really just a fantastic debut from both.
Gibbs White is a player who likes to look forward, doesn't he? He always tries to be positive, Chris, and that's got to be a plus.
Yeah, I think if you meet him, his character's very positive, and you know, I was here with him, you know, the day he signed, and he couldn't wait. He couldn't wait. He was asking so many questions about the atmosphere and the crowd and the club, and you know, it was no surprise that he was such an impact on Saturday. But going back to Illiman, I saw loads of him playing in the 23s, and he always had that little bit extra about him. You always looked at him and thought, you know, he's going to be the next one to get a chance. You could always see, but it was just timing for him.
And then we've got the old stager who, you know, played his part, Billy Sharp, not on the score sheet, but assisting on several of the goals, Kevin. We're not that used to seeing Billy in that light, are we?
Absolutely right. I was actually thinking exactly the same driving here in the car. I was just thinking about his performance, and I was wondering whether I'd actually see Billy Sharp play a better all-round performance, because what tends to happen is he scores 2 goals, you know, we win the game 3-0 and he gets man of the match, but his all-round performance is, you know, it's adequate, it's good, but it's not absolutely outstanding. But Saturday, his all-round game was remarkable. The way he held the ball up, led the line, little flicks to sideways for the runners coming, like Gibbs White coming from midfield. His crossing, my word, he got down the left-hand side and to the touchline, and on his wrong foot, his weaker foot, his left foot, put in a couple of beautifully flighted, dinked crosses to the far post. I mean, I can't begin to tell you how well he played, Billy Sharp. I'm going a bit overboard about him here, but it really was outstanding performance.
Robin Olsen between the posts tonight, Chris, and as a both former defenders, of course. How important is it that you have that trust in that goalkeeper behind you? And this is a fella who, you know, is a Swedish international. He's come in on loan from Roma. He's played in the Premier League. He's got authority, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think everything you've just said there is the reason why he's been brought to the football club. You know, I think when you lose a top goalkeeper like Aaron, you know, no disrespect to the other lads that are at the club, but obviously the manager wanted to bring another goalkeeper in, and he certainly brought another top one in.
Yeah, Kevin, share those views.
100%. I said to you earlier, I do like a goalkeeper that's 6'5", as long as he can catch the ball and do the basics. But it does give you a big sense of confidence, and you know, he might get the opportunity to come for a few early crosses, or you know, and make his presence felt. And I think it's an absolutely key signing for Sheffield United going forward.
In terms of expectations tonight, on the back of a 6-2 win, do we have to temper it a little bit? I don't want to be the harbinger of doom, but there's a tendency after a result like that fans turn up expecting to see the same again.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
No, we'll let you have that. That's fine.
No, I do think we'll start in exactly the same vein as we finished on Saturday. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't, and I think Preston will be ready for that. But I think we're good enough to carve them open. Obviously, they're not going to. They're going to sit back a bit and park the bus, as the cliche goes. But I think we're good enough to get round them and get through them and get some goals. If we get an early goal, I can see a decent scoreline here for us.
Well, there's certainly a lot to live up to, isn't there, after Saturday? But let's relive it in the company of Matt Young and Kevin Gage.
Billy Sharp, attacking start by the Blades as Illiman Ndiaye immediately gallops into the Peterborough United half. Here's Gibbs White, cuts inside, Morgan Gibbs White. Ndiaye, and a debut goal for Illiman Ndiaye. What a start for the young man. Put on a plate by Morgan Gibbs White, and Illiman Ndiaye, fantastic moment for him. His first league start and a first league goal. 14 minutes on the clock, Sheffield United 1, Peterborough United 0. Now Fleck wants it back, John Fleck inside the penalty area. Fleck! And Fleck turns it in for Sheffield United. The Blades back in front, John Fleck back in form. Just the start to the second half, the Blades needed. 51 minutes gone, Sheffield United 2, Peterborough United 1. Ndiaye United purring now. Here's Billy Sharp inside the penalty area. Sharp gets the cross in. It's there! And it's Ben Osborne for Sheffield United. Billy Sharp again with the assist. Osborne across the near post. His second goal in United colours. 53 gone. Blades 3, Peterborough 1. Nord getting forward now. Ndiaye, there's that silky footwork that we spoke about. Baldock. Stuff again from Sheffield United. Nord with the cross. Looking for Sharp. Getting the hunger from Fleck. What's the return? Comes to Gibbs-White. Oh, what a finish! What a finish, a debut goal for Morgan Gibbs-White. It's getting better and better for Sheffield United. 68 minutes gone, Blades 4, Peterborough United 1. Sharp. I don't think United are done yet, you know. Hungry for more. Sharp. Still going Sharp. And a hat-trick of assists for Billy Sharp and a second for Iliman Ndiaye. Sheffield United, it's a 5-star showing. Blades 5, Peterborough 1. Sharp, still busy, the Blades skipper. Into McBurney. Lovely ball by McBurney. And Ben Osborne finishes it off. His second of the afternoon. United 6th. What a way to finish. What a performance by the Blades. Blades 6, Peterborough 2.
It's a pleasure to come here and play at Bramall Lane. You know, when I first stepped out here, just before kick-off, the fans were electric and it got me ready for the game straight away. And I think them 3 points is what we needed, and to score 6 goals, I think it's just what we needed to kick on the season.
You got your debut goal. Talk us through what happened.
Me and Illy, we've been linking up all week in training and stuff, and when we found out we were both starting, we were buzzing. Obviously I got the assist for his goal, and then he got me the assist for my goal, so I was buzzing that he went in. I had one a couple of minutes earlier and I should have scored that one, so when I took the shot I was like, this one has to go in, and luckily enough it went in the top corner.
It felt like Iliman had scored and you thought to yourself, I can't just let him get one, I've got to get one as well.
Like I said, from the get-go, from when I first came here, we linked up in training really well, and I feel like it showed in the game. But he's such a talented player and it was a pleasure to work with him. And like you've seen, our connection on the pitch is already strong, so let's hope it continues.
Slavisa Jokanovic, you did mention that was a pull to the club. Have you had time to speak to him yet?
Yeah, when we went into the dressing room he was delighted, you know. But the main thing he said, he wants to take this performance into the rest of the games coming up now. And I feel like we can definitely build on this game and take it into Tuesday. But yeah, he was delighted with our performance, and we've just got to keep going now.
Well, that was Morgan Gibbs-White, who certainly played his role in a devastating team display. And if we look at the figures there of the front players of Sheffield United, it just shows you how dominant they were. And when you compare those stats to some of the stats we saw earlier in the season in the final third, well, that is on a different level, Kevin Gage.
Yeah, that's very interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, the pass accuracy is very good there, but the interesting one is the touches, how involved they are in the action. You know, to get in the 60s, high 60s in touches, just shows how dominant, you know, we were going forward. And Gibbs-White, Obson, and Ndiaye to a certain extent, you know, that they were all the creative players in and around the penalty area and in the opposition third. So yeah, excellent.
Listening to him speak there, Chris, he sounds like an infectious character. He looks just happy to be here, doesn't he? And that you don't always see that from players. They go through the motions, they speak in the cliches, but here's a fella who seems genuinely thrilled to be playing his football out there.
Yeah, I mean, he's come from Wolves, similar atmosphere to what it is at Bramall Lane. You know, big club, and he wanted to come here. He wanted to play in front of the crowd. You know, he was asking so many questions. I can't tell you how inquisitive he were about the club and about all the things that go on in and around the place. And he is. You know, he is a young man that genuinely loves playing football. I think he'd have finished on Saturday, and if somebody had said we've got another game down the road, he'd have gone and played there as well.
It's a cracking finish, wasn't it, as well?
Brilliant finish. I think the keeper could have done a little bit better.
Oh, stop it, stop it.
No, it's a brilliant finish.
Osborne we've not mentioned, he's not involved tonight, he's ill, bless him, but you know, a big performance from him again, and a player who fans have really taken to actually, since he came to the club. His industry, his hard work, doesn't always get the rewards perhaps that he deserves, so it was nice to see him get a couple at the weekend as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's a typical Sheffield United player, isn't he? The crowd
100%.
like to see him, giving his all every single week. Whenever he's drafted into the side, he's always done well, and I mean, he's got his work cut out to get a regular place, because the competition on that left-hand side is fierce now. We've already got Fleck, who looks back to his best with his performance on Saturday. Hourihane's come in, obviously left-sided midfield player. We've got Norrington Davis, who's the wing-back. And Luke Freeman, of course, who gets a chance today and replaces him today. So, yeah, competition is fierce, but that can only raise the level of the performance from everybody.
Good to see John Fleck back to what we know John Fleck can be, wasn't it? Because let's be honest, he's had a hard time, hasn't he, so far this season? Yeah,
he has. And I think when you look back to the success that the club had when it got promoted out of the Championship to the Premier League, people were talking about all the different players, but the one that was a constant for me was always John Fleck. He was always excellent. Whenever you watched it, he orchestrated everything from midfield. You know, he got forward, he got back, he put tackles in, got a good eye for a pass, and he looks from Saturday. He looks as though he's up and going again.
Well, he's got additional competition now from Conor Hourihane, for example. Adlène Guedioura has just arrived within the last 24 hours, a player that Slaviša Jokanovic knows very well. He's been on trial, he put pen to paper yesterday, he's been talking to Matt Young.
Adlène, welcome to Sheffield United. You've signed today. How much are you looking forward to this Blades challenge?
I'm very glad to come to join United. I can't wait to start to play for the team. And it's something special for me to come back in UK, and I'm really happy.
And you've been training with the Blades over the last 3 weeks or so, and obviously you've done enough to impress because you've earned this deal, so you must have really enjoyed your time here so far.
Yeah, exactly. I think I want to thank the manager and the club to allow me to come to train and have the opportunity to show what I can do, and I'm happy that he ended up with the contract until the end of the season. So I'm up for the challenge and I'm happy to start.
You mentioned the manager. You obviously know him really well. You've played for him at Watford and you're out with him in Qatar as well last year. So I guess he was a big factor in you coming to Sheffield United.
Yeah, definitely. I know him for a long time. We work together and we've been successful before. So it's good to have the manager to let me come here and offer me this opportunity. And I wish I can give him back to him as soon as I start.
It's been a tough start, but obviously you know the manager really well. His record speaks for itself, doesn't it? So what is it about him and this league that seems to work, really?
I think he knows the league well. He's been promoted twice, once with Watford and once with Fulham. I remember when I came to Watford, just before that, he just arrived and he lost 4 games in a row before kick on. So I think he knows exactly what this league is about, and it's the toughest second or championship league in the world. I think there is a lot of games, a lot of good teams who can go up, and I think the manager knows well, and with the players that we have as well, we can make it.
Adlène Guedioura, who I'm sure is itching to make his Sheffield United debut, but it's amazing, isn't it? When we sat here in these chairs a couple of weeks back, we're thinking, well, are they going to make any moves in the transfer market? The place is in desperate need of a lift. And you look at the players there, all experienced. Davis, Hourihane, who's been round the block so many times, Gibbs-White, who's played at the top level, Olsen, who we've touched on already, is a top quality goalkeeper. And now Guedioura as well, who's got lots of games under his belt, another player that the manager knows well. It's amazing what 5 new players can do for the whole environment, and it keeps everybody on their toes. And suddenly, fans have gone from thinking, ooh, this could be a struggle this season, to suddenly feeling very positive again, Chris.
Yeah, I think Kev said it earlier on. Whenever new players come into the building, it sparks everybody else up. You know, because footballers do. They get comfortable. You know, it's like, I've been in this team for the last 4 seasons, and this is my slot. And all of a sudden, somebody else walks in the building, and you think, oh. You know, particularly when the good players, like all them that were on the screen there, you know, if the good players coming in, it perks everybody up. You know, training, all of a sudden the levels in training go up, and then as we saw on Saturday, the levels in the games go up. So it's some good signings there.
Kevin, when you played, were you a player that, you know, welcomed the competition, or were you quite happy to have that right back berth as your own and no one else was having it?
Yeah, your second bit.
I suspected it might be.
No, you'd like to think that your place in the side is secure, but as Chris said, complacency can creep in if the manager lets it, and if you as a professional player lets it happen to you. So the onus is on just to keep performing at a high level, and the manager, or any good manager or good coach or whoever, will be the first one to tell you you're not performing. But to be honest, players know when they're not performing as well. So they look at themselves in the mirror and think, you know, I've got to keep going here. But yeah, you just mentioned there 5 absolute quality signings, and the manager was saying all along, all through the window, that he wanted 5 signings. So the recruitment team obviously had their eye on who they wanted, and it looks like they've got just about everyone they wanted. And Guedioura, I think, is a tremendous signing, to be honest. And the thing about him is it's not a gamble at all, because the manager knows him so well. He's proved his fitness. He'll just slot straight in to whatever role the manager thinks he's going to be comfortable in.
Who was your stiffest competition for that position when you played? Can you remember? Who was the one player that pushed you the hardest?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think Mitch Ward, probably, because he was such a good young player coming through, and he could play right side midfield or right midfield, and then he moved back to right back. So yeah, Mitch Ward and Bradders. I had a couple of fights with Bradders, not literally, although we were close sometimes. But yeah,
there's only one winner there, isn't there? It's not you, is it?
No way is it me. I'm not a fighter. Competition's good. Competition's good, and you have to have it in your squad, and we've certainly got it at the moment.
A lover, not a fighter. I think that's going to be your.
I was going to say that, but I thought better of it.
Moggs, what about you? No one was pushing Chris Morgan aside very easily, were they?
Yeah, always. I think I think whoever was the manager here, you've got to have, there was always 4 good centre backs, and you had to be on your toes, and you can start reeling them all off. But yeah, if there's just you two as centre backs, then you do. I'm going to say comfortable. It's not comfortable, because Gage is right. As a professional footballer, you push yourself to be the best all the time. But if you know you get into Friday afternoon after training and you're in the team, then you do. You need other lads pushing you.
Right, let's hear from one of those players we saw on the screen there. Robin Olsen, you might have seen on the club's official Twitter feed. Lots of clips of his saves recently for Sweden, which I have to say were absolutely top draw. Fingers crossed he ain't going to be that busy tonight. Here he is again with Matt Young.
Robin, welcome to Sheffield United. You've had to wait a little while for this day with international duty and quarantine, so how pleased are you now to finally come through the door at Bramall Lane?
No, but I'm really happy to be here now. Like you said, I needed 5 days of quarantine. That's not what you want when you're coming back from the national team. So, but you need to respect the rules, and now I'm just really happy to be here, join the team, and train with the guys.
Good to be back in England. You had that spell with Everton, didn't you, last season? So is it a target of yours to come back to England at some point?
Yeah, it was a big wish from me and my family, actually. Already when we spoke with Rome to maybe leave the club, I had a big wish to return to UK, because I mean, we had a good last year here, me and my family, when we were at Everton, and we wanted to come back because we like the lifestyle, how everything works, the people. So no, it was a big wish from us to come back.
You're an international goalkeeper of some repute. I can imagine there were quite a few suitors who would like to have taken you. So what was it about Sheffield United that made you want to come here?
I mean, I didn't play the games last season against Sheffield, but I was on the bench, and we needed to fight really hard, I remember. And I saw a team and a club who needs to be in Premier League. For me, Sheffield is not a championship club, and to join this journey and fight to come back, I want to be a part of it. So yeah, I just want to help the team and come back to Premier League, hopefully already this season.
That's Robin Olsen, who starts in goal for Sheffield United tonight. A reminder that SUTV Live is the only place that we'll be able to watch the game exclusively, and of course it includes commentary from Matt Young, and providing the oohs and the ahs will be none other than Kevin Gage. For all of the details, all you've got to do is go to sufc.co.uk. Right, shall we remind you of the team news? I think it's about time we had another look at the team news, isn't it? Let's start with Sheffield United. As I mentioned earlier on, a couple of changes. Robin Olsen making his Sheffield United debut. Luke Freeman is in. Ben Osborne is ill, and Wes Foderingham drops to the bench. As for Preston North End, nice and straightforward. It's the same team that got a goalless draw at Bristol City at the weekend. We can talk about them in just a moment. But let's start again with Sheffield United. Kevin, who do you see as being the key players for Sheffield United this evening?
It's very similar to Saturday, isn't it? I think it's our front three, or front two certainly, but I'm going to include Gibbs White in that because I think he's more of an attacking midfielder, you know, than some of the others. So I think big onus on Billy Sharp to play as well as he did Saturday, if that's possible, because he was superb. But he'll come close to it because that's kind of his all-round game. And then Ndiaye, again, he's a hard act to follow. He's given himself a lot to do, but he's got the ability and the talent to do it. So looking for them two to play exactly the same. And then we've got Luke Freeman, another big opportunity for him, as we've already mentioned, coming into the side. Always seems to do okay. He'll be industrious and he'll be looking to thread little balls through and get on the end of things. So I think it's all about our attacking play this evening. I think we're strong enough defensively, especially with a new goalkeeper. Yeah. Just a quick mention on Robinson, and I'm pleased to see the manager keeping faith with him. It would have been easy to make him the scapegoat for that error that he made Saturday, but his all-round game was really very good indeed. He was strong and he was solid, won his headers, didn't really put a foot wrong. So I'm pleased to see him being given another opportunity.
Yeah, here to that. I mean, in terms of the formation, Chris, you know, we were discussing earlier on, will it be 4-2-3-1, which it probably will be, but it is fluid, isn't it? This system is fluid, and keep banging on about Gibbs White and Ndiaye, but they're the kind of players who will float around and move left and move right, and that's the beauty now of having players like this who've got energy and have been given almost license to roam. It's brilliant to see, and that will no doubt bamboozle the opposition at times.
Yeah, I think modern football, if you look at it, you could put it down as a 4-4-2, you know, but both wide men, if it's going to be Luke and obviously Morgan, then they're not wingers, so they are going to come and play. You know, I think the modern term is inverted wingers, and they will come and play inside. And obviously you've got Illiman as well, he'll play as a 10, but he's not one of these number 10s that wants to just come to feet all the time. He wants to run in behind. So yeah, I think fully agree with Gage. I think the front four really will be the ones that will win us the game tonight.
I thought on Preston, I've not seen them personally yet live this season. I know you have. This is a tough run of fixtures for them. They've got a goalless draw at Bristol City here tonight, and then host West Brom at the weekend. What are you expecting from Frankie McAvoy's team tonight?
I think they'll try and. I saw them at Huddersfield Town a few weeks ago, and they play back three, wing backs, two sort of sitting midfield players. Daniel Johnson as an orthodox 10, and then two centre forwards. So they have got attacking ability, but I think away from home, if you look at the games away from home, they've not got a win yet. But all the games have been close. You know, they got a 0-0 away at Bristol City, which is a good result on the road. And even the games they've lost, they've only lost by that one goal. So I think they'll be tight tonight. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll see as many goals tonight as what people saw on Saturday. But yeah, I think Preston will come, particularly with West Brom in mind on Saturday. I think if they can get another point or a clean sheet at Bramall Lane tonight, I think they'll think job done, but they've got their hands full.
Well, let's see how they deal with Sheffield United's attacking players tonight, none more so than the captain, Billy Sharp, who I caught up with a little earlier. Billy, a magnificent result at the weekend. How do you go about backing that up now?
Yeah, we're delighted there's a game so quickly after the weekend. Finally got that first win, which has boosted confidence. The new lads have come in, integrated very well. We was, chomping at the bit to get going again after the international break. So it was important that we got the win. It was nice that it was comfortable in the end, and a few of the lads got some goals. New lads getting goals, and Illiman as well. Will do him the world of good confidence-wise, and hopefully now we can build on that. Obviously, with a big week coming up tonight and Saturday.
Is that the standard now? Is that the standard that you've set, that you've got to try and reach every game? Yeah,
to be honest, that's the way the gaffer wants us to play. we just haven't been brave enough, and we haven't believed in ourselves to do that. And I think obviously the first goal seems to always help us, especially at Bramall Lane. Gives us a massive lift, and the fans were right behind us, and they certainly enjoyed Saturday, which I know there's going to be a buzz around the stadium tonight, so we need to make sure we're on top of that game again to go and get another 3 points.
I look at the conditions tonight. It's drizzly, typical Sheffield night. I'm sure it would, you'll love playing in conditions like this, but Preston as opposition, what kind of a challenge is this going to be, do you think?
Yeah, it's always a tough game against Preston. We've done our homework on them, their strengths and their weaknesses. It's about us, picking their weaknesses out and making sure that we're strong as a unit to keep them out. And like you say, the conditions couldn't be any better. They're perfect. Hopefully there's a few mistakes in their defence and we can capitalise on it.
Good luck tonight, mate.
Cheers, thank you. Cheers.
Cheers, Bill. And these are live pictures right now at Bramall Lane. A bit of drizzle in the air. It's been raining all day. You all know that, of course, if you live in the area. Chris Morgan, did you enjoy playing in conditions like this? I bet you did.
For me, these are proper football conditions, particularly for a night game. Bit of drizzle, get the floodlights on. It's ideal tonight. The ball will zip off the turf. You can time your slide tackles, and it's just proper football night.
We love it. We love it under the lights here at Bramall Lane. Well, Conor Hourihane made his debut from the bench at the weekend. We may well see him tonight. He's among the subs again. And Matt Young's been a busy fella, hasn't he? He's been talking to him about his thoughts so far.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Great to get on the pitch and make my debut in such a great win. The place was buzzing. It's been a great, good feel around the place. Obviously, since so long, make that continue. Really enjoyed it on Saturday. Good to get in it and get amongst it and get out on the pitch, and yeah, it was just brilliant.
Could you tell how much it meant to everyone at the club, the players, the fans, after such a difficult year for Sheffield United?
Yeah, it was massive. A lot of smiles on faces, which is great. It breeds confidence. The last couple of days of training have been buzzing. 6-2 win is great. So, like I said, onwards and upwards now, and get ready for the game again against Preston.
How have you found your first few weeks at Sheffield United?
Listen, I've only been here since Thursday, so I wouldn't even call it a few weeks. Probably about 4 or 5 days. That's about it, So to be in the door, to be involved in the first game and to be involved in such a great win, it's been brilliant. Everything's been great. Everything's been spot on. And looking forward to the next game now again against Preston.
For you, is it just important to be playing on a regular basis at this point in your career?
Yeah, just to be at a good club first and foremost. It's got such a good squad here. We really want to be pushing up the table and just to be playing and to be a part and member of a squad. I'm 30 now, so I feel I'm one of the experienced ones, and if I can help lads along the way and just, I suppose I'm at that stage in my career where, of course, I want to be playing, but I just want to be an important member of a squad as well.
Conor Hourihane, who's on the bench for Sheffield United again. You got a little glimpse of him at the weekend, Kevin. I don't know whether it's fair for you to analyse what he managed to do in that time, but I'll ask you anyway. How did he look in the short time he was on?
He didn't get enough time to analyse him or look at him properly. But I used to play for Villa, so I've got a few contacts there, and they think the world of him at Villa. Yeah. They really like him. He played a lot of games for Villa, and he's one of these players I think has been edged out by the superstar signings that Villa keep making. They've got a lot of money to spend, so he just wants to get his career back on track and get going again. And before Saturday, I would have thought he would have been straight in the side. But now, with Saturday's result and performances from our midfield players, he might have to bide his time. So we'll see how that pans out.
He made a real difference to Swansea last season, didn't he? He played a pivotal role as they made it to the playoffs. But that's the beauty now for Slavicia. He can turn to his bench and suddenly he's got options.
Yeah, I actually watched the playoff game, the first leg at Oatwell, and he just mentioned their experience, and you could see on the night, there was I think it was the first game actually where they allowed people back in to watch, and there was a lot of nerves. All of a sudden these players that have been playing well through lockdown with no crowds in, Conor was really, he just controlled the game, and I thought he was excellent. His free kicks, his set plays, you know, they've always been good, even back from his Barnsley days. So again,
they're good stats, aren't they?
Fantastic stats. Yeah.
They are very impressive, and he scores. He's got a wonderful left foot, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And you can get some fantastic YouTube clips of him bending free kick goals in from all angles. So that will be, if he does get a game, that will be a good delivery in from the left-hand side we have there.
Well, John Fleck will be one player hoping to keep him out of the side. In a nice way, of course. I'm sure they're all friends off the field, but let's hear what he's been saying recently.
Yeah, it was very much needed as well after a disappointing start. Play some nice football at times as well, so yeah, great to get back to winning.
There seemed to be a lot of verve and energy about the performance, perhaps typified from the start. You went straight at them, didn't you? I mean, what was the difference on Saturday? What do you think?
It just seemed to be a lot more confidence about our play, I think. We've been working hard the whole time. Done a bit extra bit of training through the international break, and it helped us at the weekend, so hopefully we can carry that on.
Yes, coming on to the international break, I mean, you don't get many chances to work on the training ground with the Saturday, Tuesday format, so how important was that the last couple of weeks to get some work in behind the scenes?
Yeah, it was important. We obviously got a couple of days rest as well in between that, but I'm sure we were in a lot more than what a lot of teams would have been, so it was pleasing to get the rewards at the end of the week.
And a great performance for you personally. Tell us about the goal, because you started it and finished it in a very nice fashion right in front of the Kop.
Yeah, obviously not scored for a long time, so it was nice. Obviously the most important thing was the win, but yeah, obviously the right foot could have went anywhere, to be honest, but it was just nice to get back amongst it.
Yeah, the pass may have forced you a little bit wide, but positioned it nicely into the bottom corner, and little trademark slide celebration in front of the Kop. Nice to celebrate in front of fans once again, I'd imagine.
Yeah, of course. Obviously it'd been amazing to play back in front of them again, and obviously getting results will help that as well. I know it's not the be-all and end-all about your play, but you do pride yourself on getting on the score sheet, don't you? Of course, it's always nice. I always say I'm not too fussed about the goals as long as we're winning games. So yeah, it was obviously nice to put us back in front in that one.
A great moment as well for young Illiman, getting a couple of goals, and a nice little nudge from you as well when he was down for the second goal. So what do you make of his performance?
Yeah, he was fantastic. He's been like that in training, to be fair. He's been on fire in training, and it'll all continue for him and for us as a team, so he'll help us massively. Yeah, when he was down in the area receiving cramp, you just came up and gave him a little tap, didn't you? Is that a sort of a well done tap, was it? Of course, yeah. He's obviously a young boy. He's still getting used to the sort of the physical side and the levels he's playing at now, and the more he plays, the more he'll get used to it, and I think he just cramped up. And the new lads came in and had an impact, especially Morgan Gibbs-White. How well have they settled into life at Bramall Lane? Yeah, they've been brilliant. I think we can all see his qualities on the pitch at the weekend, and obviously Conor's come in and he'll improve us a lot as well when he gets going into the team, and obviously new goalkeeper as well can play in the next game as well, so yeah, it's looking good. It's some real competition, isn't it, all of a sudden, with these players to come back from injury as well. I'd imagine that's going to lift everyone's game, won't it, behind the scenes? Of course, yeah. There's obviously some longer term injuries as well we've had, but hopefully Enda Stevens not too far away as well, and Dave McGoldrick won't be too far behind him, I think, so yeah, hopefully we'll get a full squad back together soon. And finally, looking ahead to Tuesday night, not too much time to sort of celebrate and dwell on the weekend. What do you make of the challenge that Preston will pose on Tuesday night? Yeah, it's always a difficult game against Preston. We've obviously played them a lot of times over the years, and they'll be a difficult side to break down for us, and we just need to make sure we try and get the same levels as Saturday.
Oh, the atmosphere is building very nicely indeed here at Bramall Lane. Roughly 7 minutes or so to go before kick-off. Kevin, before you have to nip off to the commentary point, let's get a prediction from you. How do you see this going tonight?
An early goal for us, and I can see a comfortable victory.
Comfortable victory. Right, we'll let you shimmy out off your pop. You can go and join Matt. We'll be hearing more from Kevin in just a moment. Chris, you?
Close game tonight. I think
interesting. We've got a confident Kevin Gage who thinks it might be a bit of a landslide, and you're going for a tighter affair, are you?
Yeah, I'm confident. I think we'll dominate. We'll dominate the ball. I think we'll have chances, but I think it'll be tight, and I think it'll follow suit with how Preston's away games have been going. I think they'll be hard to beat, and it'll either be 1-0 or 2-1.
They're quite a streetwise team, aren't they? These are players that have been playing in the Championship for a while. They're an established Premiership. They're an established Championship team now, not like Peterborough who just come up at the weekend. So there's got to be an element of caution there, hasn't there?
Yeah, and I think the shape as well. I think the shape. A lot of people now are playing 3 centre backs and wing backs, but I think we'll see a lot of it tonight. That it'll not be a back 3, it'll be a back 5, and the 2 lads in front that do a good job for them. Obviously Ben Whiteman, who was obviously here. I think the two lads who sit in front will they'll try and put a wall up and try and keep us out.
Right, time to hear from the boss. Here's Slaviša Kanovic.
It's challenge, of course. We cannot expect we will score this number of the goals, but we need to be ready for the challenge. It's a lot of this game is it's 1-0 and you need to survive last 7-8 minutes where the opposite team start to bombing you. It's at the end we can be in this kind of the situation tomorrow. I don't know. We will see. For another side, I encourage my team for be brave, for play all together, for defend all together, for linking and for try way for enjoying a little bit in this profession and this game what we played play in front of the normally lot of the people in Bramall Lane.
There were over 27,000 fans in against Peterborough at the weekend. Just how important are they going to be, and how impressed are you how behind the team they are?
I was impressed all the day when we play in our stadium. Even we didn't have opportunity. Okay, we play 5 games. We won 3, but in championship where we arrived, a lot of the people on the stand, we didn't perform better and we didn't find it our best performance. At the end, I have sensation they are always will support us push forward. At the end, we give them some positive vibration from our side, and we are enjoying with them all this game like they are enjoying with us only last one. But I hope we can find it a good way for make them enjoying more afternoon than actually right now what they are enjoying at the beginning of the season.
Well, Gary Sinclair is turning up the volume out there just over our shoulders on the pitch, so you can tell that kickoff's not far away. And Chris, you were just saying there that when that music starts, the hairs used to stand up on your arms. Do you still get that now?
As soon as it started, I felt it. I felt them coming up. I was just about to put some Vicks on me on my shirt and get ready to go out and play.
Yeah, you've got a cold though today, so maybe you do need the Vicks anyway.
I do need a bit of Vicks, yeah.
Prediction. Give me an exact score tonight.
An exact score?
Yep.
2-1.
2-1.
Oh,
to Sheffield United.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes,
obviously. Right, we'll be back with Chris and Kevin at half-time to discuss the events of the first half. But without further ado, let's hand you over to tonight's commentary team. It is Kevin Gage and your commentator, Matt Young.